So I started off like that. My dad was like, you're not going to work for anybody. You do your own thing. I was doing really fun pieces. I did really fun gowns, dresses, all those things. It got a lot of attention. I was doing a lot of that. And then I felt that, customers come in, they say, oh, it's pe kaam nahi hai. They won't appreciate ke print mein, like digital drawing, it takes time.
Hi guys, welcome back to Momina's Mixed Plate, Season 3, powered by Insignia Shoes. In the studio with me, I have designer Mariyam Rizwan. We're going to be getting to know her a little bit better when we're finding out what empowerment means to her, how difficult it is for women to have their own businesses in Pakistan, and what all it took for her to create her brand in Karachi. Before we get started, you guys don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can be part of the Momina's Mixed Plate family, and let's welcome on Mariyam Rizwan.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, great. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for taking out the time. I know you're busy and you have your brand and your dogs and you have a plethora of interests that you enjoy.
Yeah, we're actually opening a new store, so that's keeping me really busy.
Yes.
But
you mentioned that even last time that it was in the final stages of
completion.
completion.
But again, getting work done in Pakistan is very difficult. It's been delayed by 6 months now.
Of course it is. Because
yeah, it's been a struggle every day.
I can imagine that. But more power to you, and I hope it all comes together super soon for you.
Thank you.
Achha, tell me a little bit of how your brand started.
So I actually didn't think I would be doing this. I was like a fine artist. I used to paint. And then I went to art school and I majored in digital print design, and that's what I wanted to do. And then when I moved back, it was a bit of a struggle to actually find people on the same wavelength because they weren't really teaching digital print design here. So there was a little bit of a barrier, trying to hire people, that was a struggle. And so I started off like that. My dad was like, you're not going to work for anybody. You do your own thing, which was empowering for me, you know. I had a previous work experience in London. I did a collaboration with H&M.
Oh, wow.
So that was a lot of fun.
Tell me more about that.
So in my final year, we got an offer for a collaboration with H&M for the spring-summer collection. So we designed 12 garments, and then they were actually part of their collection. So that was super fun. And then I was actually working for Ted Baker in their print design department for a year.
That's right.
Yeah, cool. And then my dad said, "Vapis aao."
Every day is a story. Parents.
Yeah.
So from digital print design,
I really evolved.
Yeah, you really have.
Because I actually feel that these things are seasonal.
Yeah.
And sometimes print looks really good if it's used in a minimal way. And it can look really good, it can look really bad. And the thing is that I was doing really fun pieces. I did really fun gowns, dresses, all those things. It got a lot of attention. But then I felt that, okay, you also evolve as a person. So I am thinking of bringing print back into my work, but with a little bit of Eastern touch. Yeah. Because what happens is that everyone wants to wear it to a show, but very few people are confident enough to carry it. Yeah. So that's a little bit of a problem.
But print is one of those things that I think across Pakistan, whether it's Eastern wear, Western wear, is something that's really worn because agar aap apni lawn dekhein,
so
it's kind of
my
multifaceted
print was a
that
little
way.
different. It was more fun, I wanted to do fun pieces, not like lawn pieces. I hated those paisleys and those, so it bothered me. But then again, yes, like lawn, it's print, it's digital, it's huge. Yeah. So that's another thing maybe in a few years I would like to kind of get into.
Do you think just talking to you, you came from digital printmaking and then you transitioned into completely very mainstream, your clothes are more mainstream, very wearable, very sellable. Do you feel that the market in Pakistan has become redundant when it comes to fashion, or just fashion itself has become redundant?
I think fashion is redundant because if you actually look at brands abroad, everyone's bringing old stuff back in fashion, Even Gucci, the old Purani collection is they're revamping the same thing. So I also feel sometimes are they out of ideas?
Yeah.
But then maybe that's a customer demand, you know. At the end of the day, they want to sell their product, and it sells. You know?
Of course it sells. And I mean, like, your stuff sells as well, but I mean, I would love to see more print in it.
Yeah. So the thing is that I was doing a lot of that, and then I felt that, you know, customers come in, they say, oh, it's पे काम नहीं है. They won't appreciate के print में, you know, like digital drawing, it takes time, you know, and then there's a lot of thought that goes into it, but they say, oh, but इसमें काम नहीं है, you know, it's a mindset of people.
But also यहाँ पे a lot of things, the thing is with high street, like बहुत, like, I mean, like initially when like Instagram came about and all of these newer high street brands were mushrooming out, so many people were called out for taking prints from Pinterest and putting them onto fabrics here. So I think that mindset, I think, like, because that practice kind of became, because obviously fast fashion mein aap baith ke design to nahi kari. I mean, like Dolce and Gabbana will design their prints, but like H&M and Zara are not designing their prints. They're taking the prints and reforming them.
Because it's fast fashion, right? So the budgets are also very small. Yeah. Right? When you sit and design a print, it takes time. It takes a very creative person, which actually is very difficult to find. Yeah. It's been a struggle for me. Believe me, it's been 5 years. I haven't been able to find somebody who can sit and design a good print. I haven't been able to. मैं जितने graduates, इतने students आते हैं, and I ask them, have you, like, you know, do you know how to run Illustrator, Photoshop, XYZ? And they say no. And I'm just looking at them, but why? You know, why haven't they been taught this? But it's actually not part of the course. But that's something that's lacking, right?
It's
because
really lacking.
They're been taught ये block printing, screen printing, but वो तो हमारे यहाँ पे workers कर लेते हैं, तो फिर मैं आपको hire क्यों करूँ? You know? So a lot of girls come and they say हम drawing कर लेंगे, हम sketch कर लेंगे, हम block print कर लेंगे, but then I don't need you to do that.
Yeah, right? You need like
illustrators. You need to bring something else in which a local karigar can't do, right? And that's how you're different. Yeah. But every single person I've interviewed is blank, which is why then they pick up prints from here and there and kind of put it together because it saves time. A lot of people don't care.
But I think that now, like, I think that, like, you're so passionate about print, I think you should maybe take out some time and actually just sit and design some prints.
Yeah, I'm actually on it. I found somebody now after 5 years who's kind of like on the same wavelength. And I've been working with him on a few things. So I actually want to take that forward. Something
that's
fun
amazing.
And interesting.
That'd be fun. Like, you know, kind of do more fusion. Because I mean, there's a burgeoning, and like, you know, if the price point is good, people here want to buy stuff. You know what I mean? But it's like if the price point is really exorbitant, it kind of like deters. Like, you know, it almost becomes intimidating for people to walk into those stores.
It is because everything's become so expensive. Good quality fabric is expensive. You know, a lot of people walk in and they say, oh, we want XYZ, good quality fabric, but we don't want to pay for it. Yeah. So then what do? Then you maybe make them something that suits their budget, but then it doesn't look as good as it would have, you know, in a better quality fabric.
Of course.
So it's, you know,
it's not very easy to own a business in Pakistan.
No, it isn't.
Tell me a bit about like your highest and lowest points in your career so far.
When I thought that I'm going to do this, setting up the store, hiring people was the most difficult part. You know, people would come and ask for a certain amount of money but not deliver, you know. It's like, okay, if you deserve to be paid an XYZ amount, then you need to deliver. That's the problem. काम नहीं आता but पैसे चाहिए. और हफ्ते में 6 छुट्टियां करेंगे और फिर कहेंगे पे बढ़ा दें, you know. So it's like it's a problem.
It's a problem.
So it's a struggle. Hiring good people is a struggle.
It's a struggle.
And everyone is going to agree with that.
I think everyone will. And I think it takes, I mean, you need to pay above average to even get and like someone like.
And I'm like, भाई ले लो पैसे, काम कर दो. नहीं वो भी नहीं करना. तो फिर what do you do? You know, and then a lot of people on social media, without knowing, they'll say कि oh ये तो अपने workers को pay नहीं करते, ये तो ये नहीं करते. This is actually a common thing that we hear all the time. Yeah. But दूसरे बंदे की story तो सुन लो कि you know you are willing to pay, but the other person is not willing to give you anything in return. Yeah. So it's actually unfair. We're also earning. महंगाई सिर्फ workers के लिए तो नहीं होती, हमारे लिए भी होती है. You know, so everything has to kind of connect.
There's a really weird mentality in Pakistan, which I mean I've also come across, like, and many people I know have come across this, is that if you come from an affluent, more stable kind of a background, you're educated, it's almost like, and especially if you're a woman, mostly if you're a woman,
100%. Yeah.
आपको तो काम करने की जरूरत नहीं.
I get that. Maybe a few times a week.
I mean, like, and like, how do you deal with that?
I ignore it, but sometimes it bothers me. करीब के लोग नहीं बोलते, but they're like, oh, उसने उसको बोला कि पैसों से सेटअप कर दिया होगा. I mean, इतना आसान नहीं होता. आपने सेटअप तो कर लिया, मगर चीज़ चल कैसे रही है? आपकी मेहनत से चल रही है ना. Nobody appreciates that.
Yeah.
You know, anyone can hand anybody money. What they do with it is the main thing, right? And that nobody talks about. Sure, you might be privileged that XYZ person helped you kind of set up something, but you're the one who's running it, right?
Yeah.
So what about that?
Well, I mean, if only we could explain this to
I mean,
people in Pakistan. If only we could explain this to people in Pakistan. But what does empowerment mean to you?
Empowerment is, especially in our society, I feel the ability to work, letting the woman work is, I think, very important. And बहुत से घरों में इजाज़त नहीं मिलती, permission नहीं होती. So I actually feel कि जैसे designing है, सिलाई है, ये ऐसी चीज़ है जो हर कोई accept कर लेता है, you know. So I really like taking that forward. I want people, women, to be educated so that they can do something for themselves. You know, there are a lot of orphanages वहाँ पे वो सिलाई machines लगाई हुई हैं ताकि वो कुछ सीख लें, कर लें और फिर आगे जाके बेचें. You know, yesterday somebody showed up at my door. And कोई गरीब सी औरत थी and she said मैं सिलाई का काम ढूंढ रही हूँ क्योंकि मेरा husband कुछ और allow नहीं करता मुझे करने के लिए. So I said आप कहाँ से आई हैं? So she had some samples and she was a random woman. She literally just walked up to my door and I was happy to see that वो काम ढूंढ रही है, भीख नहीं मांग रही. तो उसने वो काम कहीं से सीखा है ना. So actually I was very happy to see that, you know. So there are women, हमारे rural areas में कितनी औरतें हैं, वो वहाँ से लोग काम करा के बहुत से designers यहाँ पे बेचते हैं. So it's a skill, right?
It is a skill.
Which me or you don't have. So I think we should appreciate it, and that is empowerment.
Before we go, quickly tell me like some moments in your life where you felt very empowered and when you did not feel empowered at all.
I mean, I feel empowered now, but I remember that when I wanted to go abroad to study, my dad was totally against it because it was, you know, वही social or family की standing, oh हमारे family में ऐसे नहीं होता. So it does demotivate you. But then obviously I made him understand that this is what I wanted to do, and he said, okay, if you get in this specific college, only then I will let you go, which I appreciated. But मेरा पूरा एक साल ज़ाया हो गया था because वो मान ही नहीं रहे थे. So you know that was really, I felt. Yeah. So, but after
that could be very demotivating because my parents were the opposite because they were like, from the very beginning, this is, you have to get out of here. You have to go abroad.
This is also a problem, you know. But my mom said, okay, if she can't go, none of the sons are gonna go. It has to be the same, and I really appreciate that because फिर उसमें एक differences नहीं आते, you know. Siblings में differences नहीं आते. अगर if your daughter is allowed to do something, son, it has to be the same thing, you know. But यहाँ पे ऐसे नहीं होता. You know, and then you become rebellious and then shit goes wrong. It's like, so then he agreed and he was happy, and then he's the one who kind of pushed me to do what I'm doing. So, you know, it
worked out.
Yeah, it worked out.
It worked out.
Yeah.
And like, one thing that I know about you is that you have a real interest in collecting some like limited edition.
I've been noticing your shoes on the entire show, and I was telling somebody, and I was like, I've been noticing because I love collecting shoes. It's like a thing, you know. And I was like, I've been noticing Momina's shoes.
I've been collecting shoes for a very long time. It's like
I'm the same, and my mom and I are the same size. So she's collecting and I'm collecting, and then we kind of collaborate.
अच्छा हमारी family में one thing is we don't know. I never let anybody wear my shoes.
मेरे जूते किसी को आएंगे नहीं. I'm size 36.
Oh my God, you're tiny.
Yeah, and I'm tall.
Yeah, you're very tall. I would not expect
I'm like
that.
बहुत अच्छी बात है, मेरे जूते किसी को नहीं आते.
That's incredible. How?
I don't know. Like my brother says, तभी तुम्हारा balance खराब है.
Ajay, before we go, quickly tell me what's next on your shopping list.
I love collecting watches.
I know, mega shop.
And my husband is always annoyed. She's like, "Ab kya dekh liya?" Because I'm actually also from a watch family business.
Yeah.
So that kind of comes from
naturally.
There. Yeah. So I've been seeing watches since I was a child. So it really interests me. Different fun pieces, and I'm always browsing in stores in the mall. I'm going to watch shoppers in.
Okay, like whenever I'm in the market to buy a new watch, which is not anytime soon, but whenever I am, I know exactly who to call.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you so much for taking out the time.
No,
It's been
thank
a
you
pleasure
so
getting to
much.
know
Thank
you, and
you.
I wish you all the best and your
Thank
brand.
you.
And
Hope to see you soon.
yeah, inshallah, and I hope to see more print in your collection.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Working on it.
And I hope you guys enjoyed the segment. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can be part of the Women as Mixed Plate family. And I'll see you next time. Take care.